Kobe and I never truly connected. That's the truth. LeBron just revealed that he and Kobe didn't really see eye to eye. But there's more to it than that. He also suggested the reasons many NBA players actually dislike Kobe. It may come as a surprise to certain fans, but for those familiar with Kobe during his peak, it's not entirely unexpected. I have the complete story on LeBron's remarks and the reasons behind Kobe's respect, yet an absence of widespread popularity. Let's dive deeper. As Kobe's fierce mentality transformed his teammates into adversaries, the NBA has witnessed numerous rivalries, but few have accumulated as many foes as Kobe Bryant. Renowned for his unyielding drive, Kobe played not just to secure victories. He dismantled rivals, severed ties, and created a legacy marked by both brilliance and dispute. His relentless drive forged a two-decade journey that continues to ignite discussions throughout the league. One factor behind Kobe's unpopularity stemmed from his frequent conflicts. The most volatile of these began shortly after he joined the Lakers in 1996. Shaquille O'Neal, the team's reigning powerhouse, saw this arrogant newcomer as a threat, especially as the team appeared to think he had a right to be mentioned alongside the league's elite from the get-go. The initial indicators of their detrimental relationship surfaced when O'Neal labeled Bryant a showboat for his ostentatious offensive plays, voicing worries about Bryant's influence on the team by saying, "I refuse to play the babysitter." In a separate moment, he exclaimed this Kobe, explain how my reader. Check it. You remember how last week, Kobe relied heavily on me. This was more than just typical rookie initiation. It was a confrontation between a 7-foot, 300-pound Hall of Famer and an 18-year-old who was adamant about defying the established order. The psychological battle between these two titans intensified during their championship quests, moments that should have united them. Yet, throughout the championship seasons of 2000 to 2002, lingering tensions remained, with O'Neal taking aim at Kobe's individualistic play, stating, "I believe Kobe's playing too selfishly for our victory," while Bryant questioned O'Neal's commitment, particularly his conditioning, suggesting he arrived at camp overweight and unfit. Imagine this, two athletes claiming titles as partners, yet relentlessly undermining one another's reputations along with the press. It resembled a dysfunctional relationship in basketball that continued to yield championship trophies. So how do you interpret that? Create a term. His remarks regarding your dedication. Whose remarks, you ask? Kobe's. Was he addressing me directly? Or was he speaking to all the figures that have emerged from the stable side? Absolutely. He was silent towards me. The chaos hit its climax. During the 2003 to 2004 season, what began as personal tensions erupted into open conflict, drastically altering the Lakers' franchise for good, as both athletes clashed openly. O'Neal remarked to the press that Bryant should take on a more playmaking role, which prompted Bryant to question O'Neal's ability to lead. Tensions escalated so much that following injuries and contract issues, O'Neal requested trade after the final defeat against Detroit, leading to him being traded to Miami in exchange for Lamar Odom, Karen Butler, Brian Grant, and a first-round pick. However, Bryant's knack for making rivals went beyond just this high-profile dispute. The 2004 clash with Karl Malone stands out as possibly the most personal and harmful rivalry in his career, one that strained relationships and contributed to championship disappointments that linger in Lakers history. This conflict with Malone began when, in 2004, while they were both on the Lakers, Malone made alleged inappropriate remarks to Vanessa Bryant during a game. This wasn't mere competition or playful teasing. It was a breach of the fundamental principle in sports, reverence for family. As reported by ESPN, Malone directed multiple unwelcome remarks at Vanessa during a Lakers home game against the Milwaukee Bucks on November 23, 2004. Rob Pelinka, representing Bryant, informed ESPN.com that Malone's words left Vanessa feeling uneasy. Consequently, Bryant experienced deep pain and a sense of betrayal. The basketball community has uncovered more unsettling details, showing that Malone made a remark about seeking out young Mexican girls. When Vanessa objected to his cowboy attire, which she deemed inappropriate, Bryant's retort was immediate and unforgiving. He remarked that no man present would remain unfazed by Malone's comments, highlighting the personal stakes involved. Malone's rejection of accountability only intensified the situation. He stated in USA Today, "Misery enjoys company. This resembles a Hollywood soap opera, and I refuse to be cast in another of Bryant's dramas." The event caused lasting harm to their relationship and played a role in the Lakers' dismal team chemistry during the 2004 to 2005 season, leading to a 34-48 record and their first playoff absence in over 10 years. In addition to these high-profile clashes, Bryant's combative personality revealed itself in numerous lesser confrontations, showcasing his readiness to take on anyone, anywhere, at any time. A notable altercation occurred between Kobe Bryant and Chris Childs, during which Childs landed 2 punches on him. The incident involving Chris Child vividly illustrates Bryant's bold, arguably reckless, attitude towards challenge, showcasing a young athlete who stood firm despite potential retaliation. On the first play back after receiving stitches, I charged in and made a hollow pass. He went for my throat. The pain was unlike anything I've ever experienced. especially since he was right there on the edge of it. In this segment, featuring Mike Miller, we see Bryant's methodical approach to revenge. It wasn't merely about anger. It was about retribution, ensuring his rivals wouldn't forget the lesson taught. The underlying psychology of these clashes was rooted in Bryant's steadfast conviction of his own greatness and an intense refusal to settle for anything short of absolute control in every engagement. He faced backlash as a ball-dominating player, particularly from 2004 to 2007, during the Lakers' challenging times, with Phil Jackson observing his tendency to push the play, especially when the tide was against him. This transcended mere basketball stats. It represented a mindset that treated each possession, every play, and each moment as a chance to showcase dominance over all others on the court. Numerous players perceived Bryant as challenging, owing to his lofty expectations and relentless leadership approach. With teammates such as Smush Parker and Chris Mim facing public reproach, sports journalist Mark Heisler labeled him the most isolated star in the NBA around 2004 to 2007. This sense of isolation was no coincidence. It was an inevitable result of a player who prioritized victory above everything, even fundamental human connections and team dynamics. The most revealing detail of Bryant's relational struggles was his scarcity of friendships within the NBA, as his fierce competitive drive often eclipsed personal bonds, indicating a notable absence of camaraderie, which many analyses of his career pointed out. This wasn't merely about being unapproachable. It represented a calculated approach to the game that regarded every other player as either a supporter in his pursuits or a hurdle to be surpassed. Yet, arguably the most detrimental element of Bryant's contentious career was how his off-court troubles intensified on-court friction, crafting a perfect storm of negativity that shadowed him during his playing days and afterward. The sexual assault claims from 2003 deeply damaged his image, likely influencing his peers' perceptions as the case was dismissed when the accuser chose not to testify, and a civil settlement was finalized discreetly. Although Bryant asserted his innocence, the surrounding controversy complicated his interactions with fellow players even further. These were not singular events or fleeting disputes. They represented entrenched behavioral trends that shaped Bryant's approach to every professional relationship. The rivalries, the altercations, the scandals. They all originated from a common foundation and an unrelenting pursuit of greatness, prioritizing basketball achievements over personal relationships. However, this is where the narrative shifts intriguingly. As Bryant was alienating peers and severing ties across the league, a different young star was pursuing excellence through an entirely contrasting method. This would eventually spark one of the most captivating comparisons in contemporary NBA lore, with LeBron's brilliance casting Kobe in the role of a supporting player. As Kobe Bryant distanced himself from teammates and fostered rivalries across the NBA, LeBron James was busy crafting a distinct model of superstar conduct. This model emphasized teamwork, mentorship, and a fundamentally new perception of what it entails to embody a franchise in the sport at large. The divergence between their paths to greatness becomes even clearer upon exploring how each managed the intense expectations of being heralded as basketball's future icon. How their contrasting philosophies influenced not only their own legacies, but also the broader culture surrounding NBA superstars for years to follow. Sports Illustrated's cover, Fleeting the Anointed One. It said he could compete in the league right now, albeit temporarily. People are shocked, thinking he likely could have. LeBron James stepped into the league shouldering expectations that could overwhelm most teenagers. Yet, rather than let that pressure create the toxic dynamic seen in Bryant's journey, he transformed it into a driving force, evolving into a leader who gathered his peers around him. From his high school days, LeBron encountered immense scrutiny, often compared to Michael Jordan, a narrative well documented by the media, including his 10th grade Sports Illustrated cover. Unlike Bryant, who seemed to react to pressure with conflict, LeBron directed it towards fostering connections and cultivating a space where championship teams could thrive. The key distinction in their methods is evident when we look at their initial career paths and their approach to leadership roles. At one point, Kobe Bryant played a supporting role to Eddie Jones. In contrast, LeBron James wouldn't have taken a backseat to Eddie Jones back in 11th grade. Eddie's my guy, absolutely. Yet LeBron James stands apart. This insight from Gilly Day Kid truly highlights the distinction between the two athletes. Unlike Kobe, who fought for recognition in a secondary position, LeBron immediately exuded authoritative leadership the instant he entered the NBA. Kobe would enter a locker room and don a Robin outfit. Yes, Shaq had a rough time, honestly. LeBron has never donned a Robin jersey in any locker room. That's where the distinction lies. This bold assertion highlights not only the contrasting trajectories of these athletes, but also the diverse mentalities that shape their quests for excellence. Bryant fought tooth and nail to ascend the ranks, while LeBron seemed destined for it from start. LeBron has consistently been the key player for his squads, never settling for a supporting role. In contrast to Kobe's early collaboration with Shaq, LeBron exhibited his inherent leadership skills from the very start. His impact transcended mere talent. It embodied a profound grasp of leadership principles and the art of enhancing not only individual growth, but also achieving team triumph through unified brilliance. A statistical analysis of these two icons highlights the contrasting methods they employed to achieve basketball greatness and how these strategies resulted in on-court triumphs that shaped 2 decades of the NBA. LeBron boasts career averages of 27.0 points, 7.5 rebounds, and 7.4 assists per game, while Kobe's stats stand at 25.0 points, 5.2 rebounds, and 4.7 assists. LeBron also surpasses Kobe in total points, accumulating 42,184 compared to Kobe's 33,643, which can be attributed to a greater number of games played. However, these figures provide only a fraction of the narrative. The true distinction lies in the methodology behind their stats and the implications of their approaches for team achievements and their personal legacies. LeBron has secured 4 titles across 3 franchises: the Miami Heat, Cleveland Cavaliers, and Los Angeles Lakers, showcasing his flexibility and leadership qualities. His skill at adapting to various systems and uplifting diverse player groups to championship heights is undeniable. The duel between these legends offers a clear lens to analyze their unique paths to greatness and rivalry. They encountered each other 22 times in NBA matches, with LeBron leading the series 16-6 against Kobe. This rivalry transcended mere individual clashes, representing 2 contrasting basketball philosophies. LeBron's emphasis on teamwork consistently triumphed over Kobe's more individual-centric approach. We discussed LeBron James, who appeared in the NBA Finals 9 times over a decade. It's not a casual achievement. Those aren't given freely. The remarkable consistency LeBron showcased during his peak is something even Kobe's biggest fans must recognize. It was a standard of team success that surpassed personal honors. LeBron's influence transcends mere statistics, showcasing his knack for elevating his teammates, exemplified by his journey with the underdog 2007 Cavaliers to the finals. He maintained impressive efficiency with a field goal percentage of 47.6%, outshining Kobe's 45.5%. This effectiveness was no fluke. It stemmed from a player who recognized that true basketball success lies in team triumphs rather than individual accolades. To grasp why this comparison has gained prominence in today's NBA discussions, we must delve into not only their achievements, but also their methodologies and how their distinct styles influence the players around them and shape the culture of the franchises they guided throughout their illustrious careers. The defensive analysis of these 2 athletes uncovers a significant disparity in their philosophies regarding two-way mastery. Kobe earned a spot on the NBA All-Defensive Team 12 times, a key factor during championship pursuits as he consistently took on the opponent's top perimeter threat. In contrast, LeBron's defensive abilities, though adaptable, can vary according to his offensive responsibilities. This distinction not only underscores their personal priorities, but also illustrates their differing perspectives on attaining team success. Kobe's Mamba mentality was marked by an unyielding drive for victory, often leading to conflicts with rivals like Paul Pierce, Ray Allen, and Shaquille O'Neal, as his pursuit of triumph frequently eclipsed his personal connections. Conversely, LeBron's competitive ethos focused on uplifting his teammates while achieving personal greatness, fostering a setting where collective triumph arose naturally from individual skill instead of rivalry. The analysis of playoff performance stands as a telling illustration of their differing styles in high-pressure basketball scenarios. In average playoff statistics per game, LeBron records 28.4 points, 9.0 rebounds, and 7.2 assists, in contrast to Kobe's 25.6 points, 5.1 rebounds, and 4.7 assists, with LeBron participating in more playoff games, 292 to Kobe's 220, and making it to more finals, 10 against 7. However, the most insightful aspect of their career comparison transcends mere numbers. It lies in the testimonials of teammates and opponents regarding their experiences playing alongside or against them over the years. While Bryant's connections were frequently marked by strife and discord, LeBron earned consistent acclaim for his guidance and talent in lifting those around him to new heights. They could hardly imagine it. The transformation of their personal legacies offers intriguing perspectives on how varying paths to excellence can result in Hall of Fame careers, generating entirely distinct stories about the essence of stardom in today's NBA. Kobe's legacy is frequently linked to his unyielding determination and championship history, whereas LeBron's is characterized by his durability, adaptability, and societal influence. Their contrasting methods in high-pressure scenarios have become pivotal in discussions regarding their respective greatness. Fans of each athlete argue over diverse interpretations of what clutch performance truly signifies within the framework of team achievement. Kobe exemplified dependability in clutch moments, racking up an impressive tally of game-winning shots and buzzer beaters. In contrast, LeBron has been critiqued for opting to pass instead of taking that decisive shot, encapsulating differing views on personal accolades versus collective achievement. However, amid this ongoing dialogue, The most captivating part of the Bryant-LeBron relationship was not their fierce rivalry on the court, but how it transformed into mutual admiration. This shift sheds light on the persistent myth that NBA players collectively despised Kobe Bryant. The intricate relationship between Kobe and LeBron challenges the narrative that surrounds Kobe's legacy in the league. The situation is intricately layered, shedding light on media narratives and fan interpretations, while also reflecting the true dynamics among elite athletes competing at the pinnacle of their sport. A thorough examination of evidence and account from those who faced off against Bryant unveils a different narrative, one that illustrates a multifaceted interplay of admiration, respect, fear, and rivalry, a blend that shaped the elite's view of the Black Mamba during and after his career. The rapport between LeBron James and Kobe Bryant showcases how competitive tension can be misconstrued as personal enmity, with their evolving relationship exposing the genuine sentiments of NBA players towards one of the sport's most controversial icons. LeBron has repeatedly lauded Kobe as a friend and mentor, with no indications of him ever suggesting that players harbor hatred for Bryant. Comprehensive investigations aimed at finding proof of LeBron stating that players dislike Kobe have yielded no credible evidence, indicating that such narratives thrive more in the realm of fan conjecture than in substantiated facts. Their relationship started off as contentious, fueled by their prominence as elite NBA athletes and the distance between them. However, it gradually shifted into a bond of respect and camaraderie, especially after they teamed up on the U.S. Olympic squad and when LeBron became a Laker. This journey from adversaries to allies reflects the reality of NBA players viewing Bryant not as a universally reviled competitor, but as one deserving of admiration. The Olympic experiences of 2008 and 2012 acted as pivotal moments, showcasing how common objectives and respect can bridge a competitive gap. LeBron remarked on their strong rapport during these periods, signifying the start of a connection that went beyond mere competition. This change from rivals to partners illustrated Bryant's ability to lead and cooperate when collective achievement took precedence over personal rivalry. When LeBron became a Laker in 2018, the essence of their bond became unmistakable. Bryant greeted James warmly, saying, "Hey, whatever you need in LA, I'm here for you. You're a Laker now. You're part of the family." This showed the genuine camaraderie and encouragement that marked their evolved relationship. It wasn't an expression of bitterness. Rather, it was the reaction of a rival acknowledging and valuing another's exceptional talent. The occasion in January 2020, when LeBron surpassed Kobe on the all-time scoring chart, shed light on their authentic relationship. Bryant acknowledged this achievement with a heartfelt post, urging him to continue evolving the game, a sentiment that resonated deeply with James. The visible nature of this encouragement, especially when Bryant could have opted for indifference, highlights the profound respect shared between these two icons. I recall a time when a Lakers player approached me closely and he caught my gaze. His stitches ruptured and he became heated. He was ridiculously attractive. He mentioned how the feet were misrepresented. He said, "Look, I'm going to make a comeback. See you later." This statement from Mike Miller highlights the challenges of facing off against Bryant. The energy was palpable. The response was strategic, yet the mutual respect endured across their journeys. We embraced each other. That's just how it is. And of course, I competed in USA basketball alongside him. During my time as a free agent, I was set to head to Miami. He was among the first to reach out and suggest LA. That's my guy. He stands for what's right. He's a hard worker, and we certainly all miss him. Miller's thorough narrative illustrates that Bryant's fierce competitive spirit did not breed personal animosity. Rather, it forged a basis of mutual respect and camaraderie among players who recognized and valued his methodology on the court. The quest for tangible proof of player disdain for Bryant uncovers how media stories can morph into widely held beliefs lacking real support. The most relevant anecdote comes from Danny Green, a former teammate of James, who admitted to a prior aversion to Bryant, viewing him as a copy of Michael Jordan. However, he later clarified, saying he wouldn't call it hatred, noting that his perception shifted after facing Bryant on the court. This reflects standard competitive doubt rather than true animosity. In truth, Bryant's fierce drive and high expectations led to tension with some teammates. However, this tension was generally based on professional expectations rather than personal dislike. His reputation as a ball-dominating player and challenging colleague, particularly from 2004 to 2007, might have sparked disagreements, yet there are few explicit claims of hatred from players. The lack of extensive testimonials from fellow athletes backing the hatred narrative indicates that this tale has been significantly blown out of proportion over the years. A thorough examination reveals a portrait of Bryant as a competitor who placed winning above all else, even at the cost of personal bonds and short-term team dynamics. Ultimately, he garnered the admiration of peers through his relentless pursuit of greatness and his readiness to sacrifice everything for championship glory. His public disputes with figures like Karl Malone and Ray Allen intensified league tensions, but his stern nature and propensity for conflict made him more unlikable to some rather than outright despised. Understanding the nuance between unlikability and hatred is key to grasping how players perceive Bryant during his career. The heartfelt tributes following Bryant's untimely passing in 2020 offer perhaps the clearest insight into how NBA players truly regarded him. The wave of grief, respect, and love from both current and former players highlighted that any competitive rivalries he faced were eclipsed by a deep appreciation for his impact on the game and their own journeys. LeBron's heartfelt homage following Bryant's passing, referring to him as my brother and voicing his sorrow, revealed a profound connection that defied any tale of rivalry or resentment. The raw emotion showcased by James and numerous other athletes underscored that fierce competition and personal admiration could coexist harmoniously in their ties with Bryant. The transformation of Bryant's relationships with past adversaries further illustrates how time and insight reshaped the interactions among former rivals. Their eventual camaraderie was evident during the 2006 NBA All-Star Game, where they were seen sharing laughter, with O'Neal commending Bryant's remarkable 81-point feat. Even the harshest rivalries ultimately matured into a shared acknowledgement of exceptional talent and a deep respect for their collective achievements. The sentiments of NBA players towards Kobe Bryant are far richer and more intricate than mere hatred. What unfolds is a portrayal of a competitor who insisted on excellence from everyone around him, utterly rejecting mediocrity and inciting tension through his relentless quest for greatness, rather than out of personal hostility or genuine resentment toward his fellow athletes. The enduring significance of these dynamics continues to shape our perspective on competition, leadership, and excellence within professional sports. Bryant's pursuit of greatness, fierce, demanding, and at times isolating, sparked brief conflicts but ultimately yielded championship victories and garnered lasting respect from those who faced him on the highest basketball stage. The notion that NBA players despise Kobe Bryant reveals more about our perceptions of competitive intensity and assertive leadership than about the true connections between athletes who recognized and valued the unique blend of talent, dedication, and competitive spirit that characterized the Black Mamba's illustrious career and lasting contribution to basketball. We appreciate your viewership. Keep yourself updated in the sports arena by accessing exclusive gossip and the latest trends. Tap the card displayed on your screen.